My name is Maria Rodriguez. I grew up in Caracas, Venezuela. It's a Latin American country in the south of America. Well, we definitely use cook at home as a Venezuelan um, family. My son eats Venezuelan food. My mom cook that every day, and we drink and eat a lot of the food over there, from over there. And New Year's Eve, Venezuelan people have a tradition that if you want to travel during the year, you just take your suitcase after the 12th bell of the New Year's Eve. Then we do that every day, and that way we sure that we travel the rest of the year. Well, in Venezuela, we don't drive that much. Here in Houston, we drive a lot. We use a lot of public transportation. The weather is, the whole year is the same. It's very warm. And people have different way to see life. And we are very friendly and we party a lot. Well, here we have a lot of technology. When I was growing up, the only technology that we had was the TV and the VHAs. We play a lot outside because of the weather. We don't have that much rain. We don't have too much cold. I did not learn how to ride a bike, but I was playing a lot outside. Right now, it's more organized. Kids go to play specific sports. It's more like planned. The pros are we have more opportunities to grow as a professional. The lifestyle is, you can provide for your family. When I was a kid, it was a little bit better than now in my country, but it was something that I want to do from the beginning, and I miss the people of my country, the weather, the beaches, and everything. But here, we have more opportunity to be more successful in life.
My name is Faida Javeen, and I grew up in India and moved to the United States around 20 years back. We have a blend of American and Indian culture at home, and food-wise we have, like, sometimes we make rice and all sort of curries the traditional Indian way, and sometimes we have the American fast food. It's usually a blend of both. Clothing-wise, the Indian clothing is really vibrant, and there are a lot of colors, and it's a mix of all different colors, and we usually use those clothing when we go out for parties here. But everyday life, for work and going out, we prefer the American clothes, which are simple and light colored. Language-wise, we speak a mixture of sometimes Urdu and sometimes English, but it's basically a mix of Urdu and English at home. Childhood in India, we had like a lot of difference, like compared to America. In India, we used to walk around the neighborhood, go outside and play with friends. In India, usually kids play on streets and go to school walking every day.
My name is Areen. I'm from Syria. Syria, it's one of the beautiful country in the Middle East. Actually, I'm from a village in Syria. It's called Bludan. It's a beautiful place. I moved to America when I was 19 years old. I love the Arab food. I mean, even the Arab food is not the same for all country, but the Syrian food is very familiar to the Turkish food. Syrian and Turkish, they have actually, you can say, more than 90% familiar to the food. My kids, they love the Arabic food. the Arabic food, and I cook another culture food. They love the Italy, the American, the Mexican. The clothes is very much like here in America. It's normal. It's something personal, the way how you want. Sometimes I have to speak English with my kids. I mean, sometimes if something they don't understand, I have to repeat it in English. But yeah, I'm trying my best to speak Arabic all the time. Here, freedom, number one. You feel you are equal to any another one. And back home, most of the Middle East places, even if you have a family, but anything happen with you, if you don't have the money and you don't have power in the government, not anything easy for you to do it. The main important part, the family. There you grow up between family. Even if you walk on the street or you just want to go like pick up something from the store, any place you go is just all the people around you, you know, every single one you know. And if you want to just stop and say hi, you don't even need to call or ask, just like knock the door and get in, and that's all. Very simple, very easy. You have enough time in the morning to eat breakfast with all your family. But in general, the life, I'm talking, the time when I moved here, I was a student. But even if you go back just for visit, you see this big difference. All the life is completely different.
I was born and raised in Taiwan, a very densely populated island. The island itself has very rich culture. It's mainly Chinese, but has a very heavy dosage of Japanese influence. For example, people of my parents' generation, most of them speak both Taiwanese and Japanese. Taiwan is a very small island with a large population. Driving and parking is always a nightmare. Luckily, pretty much everything is in walking distance. On the contrary, Houston is very spacious. However, it's very difficult to do anything if you do not have a car. Naturally, our everyday life in Houston is a blend of Taiwanese and American way of living. For instance, we eat Americanized Taiwanese food. We speak both languages all the time. Pretty much everything is integrated and intertwined. We do speak different languages at home. It's Mandarin Chinese, but sometimes we speak Taiwanese, especially when we do not want Emma to understand what we are saying. The Lunar New Year is the biggest holiday we celebrate. This is a time family gets together, enjoy good food, and share gifts. Quite a few similarities between the two cultures. For example, both cultures are like a melting pot, comprises people of different ethnicity, background, history, and so forth. Therefore, we do not really have to try hard. It's relatively easy to integrate both cultures together. I grew up in an environment that was surrounded by nature and lots of people. So I learned how to appreciate the natural beauty and find ways to work with other people. My daughter grew up in an environment that high tech is everywhere. She learns new things and acquires knowledge a whole lot faster than I did.
So iFest, or the International Festival, is a tradition that's been going on here at Clements High School for over a decade now. And ultimately what iFest represents is the coming together of a very, very diverse community that we have here, both at Clements High School and also in Sugar Land and Fort Bend County. And so iFest is really a celebration of everything that diversity represents. Music and food and culture and the joy that comes from sharing that culture with one another, and how we as a community can grow together when we learn about other cultures. As the sponsor of iFest and iClub, which is the club here at Clements responsible for putting iFest together, I feel like this is really important because since our because our school in this city and in this county is the most diverse county, not just in Texas, but in the entire nation. This is really a showcase for what I think the world could really be if we learn to embrace diversity in all its forms and see one another as fellow people from whom we can learn more about, and how diversity can bring us together rather than seeing how the world is different and divides us. I think that going forward with a message like that is really important, especially in the world that we live in today. And so iFest is a really important part of our continued mission here at Clements High School to kind of bring the world together